How are you guys doing today? Thank you for joining me again. Let me get this straightened out a little bit. Um, yes, it is still Tuesday, October 18th. Take a stab at it. It's just about 2 o'clock. I apologize if I'm early and you weren't expecting me until 2, but it is just, 2 minutes until 2? Um, and let's see. Yeah, it is Tuesday the 18th. I was just double checking because sometimes I'm a little bit off with those things. And, I don't like to spread misinformation, even things as simple as the date. I try to correct myself whenever I can. So I really appreciate you guys. Codswall up, hiya. It's just so nice to see, it's sort of like friends and family, right? Let me get my little necklaces straightened out. So I feel like we're getting to know each other, and it's fun. It's nice. We kind of have a mission to seek justice. Barbie on the West Coast says, "Good morning, justice from Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada." I have been there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Um, and yeah, West Coast. I lived on the West Coast for a lot of my life and also on the East Coast. I'm in Ohio now, but some people kind of consider it East Coast. It's like as far east as you can go in the Midwest, or as far east as you can go without actually being on the East Coast. We're just like one state over from Pennsylvania that touches the Atlantic sea border. So there was just a couple of things I wanted to touch on right now to follow up from this morning. I did get to watch a few of the shows that I wanted to get caught up on. Some of my favorite creators have been ill, and so they have not been able to put their 2 cents in, which is unfortunate because I think that they are some of the folks that really keep things moving along. And so one station that is brand new to me, you guys might already know about her, that Draw Latina, Dr. Amy Solnero. She has her own channel. So I didn't realize that. I thought she was just like doing a little thing. So I did recognize her once I got onto her channel and saw some of her other stuff there. But she did a part 2 to the Kylie Rodney autopsy just last night, I think. And I wasn't aware of that because I hadn't been subbing to her. So I'm a sub now and love her work, send her a message. She said she's going to have at least a part 3, possibly a part 4. So it was really nice to get more information from her about the whole situation. And, I want to say, I don't think that any of us were surprised that they came out with the accidental drowning. I think for myself, that is what I completely expected. Um, I would have been surprised with anything else. I was surprised by the timing, but I kind of felt like that was intentional for the gaslighters to say, well, we'll let you know November 1st, and then to just kind of blindside us a couple weeks early. And then you're like, oh, well, good, it's information. And then you're like, but bad because it's a joke. I mean, to say accidental drowning with all of the body of evidence, not counting Kylie's body, not counting the car, just the whole big picture. And then on top of that, you put um, all of those weird weights for her whole person as well as all of her organs, and the flipping around of making the left lung weigh more than the right one, when that is just not how it's going to happen unless you have a kind of a deformed heart that's on the right side or something. But yeah, it's disturbing to say the least, and it's very sad to me. I've said again and again, it's not just for Kylie that it's sad. It's for the lack of confidence in trusting our system and trusting um, law officials. I think it's a really bad time I'll say it again, a really bad time for people that are corrupt in law enforcement to be keeping up with their corruption. It'd be a really good time to cut that crap out and lay low, go undetected until this whole storm blows over. When I say this whole storm, I'm talking about the kind of the quest for justice that people set out on with the whole George Floyd case in from my perspective. But you know, I always try to look at it like a gift for those people doing these terrible things to keep doing them and documenting them and making it evident that hopefully will make it easier to suss out the bad guys and expose them and get rid of them, hopefully, right? I mean, it is hard. So a couple of things that I had mentioned this morning about the Gabby Petito case. You guys have probably all seen by now. I mentioned the Pascal show, and I've seen Evil Exists has something about it, and Amber Truth Seeker also. So they got about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of footage from the Whole Foods in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And I watched it again more closely, to see, like, can you really tell Brian's angry when he closes the van door? And he definitely seems like he's angry the way he closes that van door when they first get out of the van to go into the store. And then I don't know if it's just me. I'd be curious what other people think. Watching the tape of them going around the store, Gabby's carrying two like reusable, like denim or twill shopping bags too. And Brian's got his hands in his pockets and he's kind of mostly walking like a foot or two behind her. So she, to me, looks like very much the leader and kind of maternal, actually. Like, she is the one that's focused, that has the ideas and the decision making. And so he's kind of lollygagging behind her slightly. And then every once in a while, he just like does a 180 and he bolts the other direction as if to, like he just thought of something or like he doesn't need to follow her. I don't know. I don't think I'm overthinking it. I think it's weird. And it also looked to me like some people in the store were kind of watching them, looking at them sideways and curiously. So it just made me wonder if there was like a little bit of arguing or tension or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, if you're not really looking for the stuff, you might not see it. And then it looked like maybe they only bought cheese. And I wondered, did they actually pay for it or were they shoplifting? Was that part of the stress that they were, worried about finances? Um, we all know that Gabby was trying to do her van life to have an income. And then Brian was stressing about her doing all that work on the computer when he wanted to go for a hike. Like that's what caused that big fight on August 12th. So the reason I'm talking about that case is not only because of that footage that's just come out in the last 12 or so hours, but because I mentioned earlier today about the 6 days that Gabby spent in the Holiday Inn Express hotel in Salt Lake City. I've always been very curious about those 6 days. Those were the 6 days that Brian had flown to Florida, allegedly. And Gabby allegedly stayed in the Holiday Inn Express by herself. And her father said that he spoke with her once and he ordered a Domino's pizza for her on his app. And he was helping her like set up some of her website for the van life channel that they had, that she had. I mean, it was an endeavor that they were working on together, but clearly she was the brains behind it. I mean, Brian was obviously her sidekick and would then make that post about how he was the luckiest guy in the world to have a sidekick like her. And yeah, at least he knew how lucky he was, but It's just so horrifying. Like, that footage is probably taken 3 hours before he murdered her, and just 30 miles south of where her remains were found 3 weeks later. And you know how he walks with his feet sticking out like a duck and, you know, um, just how graceful and perfect Gabby seemed. It's just really, really sad to see that, and to see that footage getting released a year later, it just makes me wonder about the footage that we're missing with Kylie, like in the, convenience store or on the roads or what have you. Um, so, I also wanna bring up for people that are getting upset over, um like the videotapes that may or may not be Sammy when she was younger. I think it's personally, it's my opinion, and everything I say here is my opinion only. It's surely for the sake of discussion, entertainment, education, hopefully, right? Um, I think it's important to be able to ask questions safely and to not be ridiculed or scared to ask questions. So, asking if Celicia Singh is similar to the person, the mother that was murdered in that family of four with the 8-month-old baby, and her name is Jaskin Carr, I think, or Care, Kaur, Power. Um, so Celicia Singh, as we know, was that name kept coming up in Kylie Rodney's case, and then that last name was the last name of Jaskin Kaur's husband and his brother, and probably their baby as well. And that's a very common name in the Sikh religion. Um, anyway, you know, asking the question if there's a connection there, I think is a very good question to ask. Like, what if there was a connection there and nobody noticed? That would be insane. There's also that other couple that disappeared on Friday, August 5th from the car show in Reno, Nevada, that Kylie Rodney's mother says she went to and that Kylie had intended to go to, that then was found, um, I think, in a body of water. Maybe they were found in the woods, but it looked like they'd been in a car accident and died, and they were found several days later. Um, People wondered about that too, if there was a connection there with Kylie, and it doesn't seem like there is, but it's, I think, very smart to ask those questions. Um, so let's see. There was something that I wanted to say that is really disturbing to me. And let's see, I'm already just at 13 minutes. So I'll just say it, I'll spit it out and wrap it up. Um, on the autopsy, at the bottom of page 2, it's lines 83 and 84 of the autopsy report. Um, it states external genitalia are normally developed adolescent female with a closely trimmed pubic hair pattern. Now, I understand that some of that information is just normal in an autopsy. It just really struck me as too much information potentially. Most women trim their pubic hair these days. Most women shave. A lot of women, completely shave. It's like less yeast infections and stuff like that. Um, I just found it kind of disgusting. Like, I don't care what the length of her pubic hair is. My God, like, thanks for the image. It just seemed perverted to me. And I know that that's going to upset some people and they're going to say, oh, you're overthinking it. It's just an autopsy. They didn't mention her freaking armpit hair, if it was nicely trimmed or if it was non existent, or her leg hair. I mean, some girls shave. A lot of girls that are blonde don't shave. Don't worry about it. Um, it just felt creepy to me, to be blunt. So I know I'm taking a big risk saying that, but I'd like to be honest with you guys. It's been bothering me, and I hadn't said it. I'd been shy about it. So let me read a few of your codswallops. I love you. She says, "Oh darn! I thought exactly the same thing. How odd." Thank you. I feel so validated because, I have read a couple autopsies and I don't remember anything about the length of anybody's freaking pubic hair and damn it. um yeah, creepy. So nice to be validated, isn't it? And Kiki Ray says that is how I even felt about the French cut description of the bodysuit. Like, what Shreep guy is writing this? I am probably overthinking. That is fine. I agree. TMI. Again, thank you guys so much for your support. I feel so much better. I am going to wrap up here. I'm going to keep this one real short and sweet. So thank you kindly for watching. Thank you for joining me. And like I always try to end with, sometimes I forget, drink your water, eat your fruits, your veggies, your protein, get your exercise and fresh air, and relax, breathe, put your feet up, be nice to people, make sure that people are nice to you, and just enjoy the rest of your day. Sometimes I think it's nice to hear it from someone else. Take the rest of the day off. Like, even if you can't, just kind of flip a switch in your mind that you've been given permission to take the rest of the day off. Okay. It reminds me of that What About Bob movie, where the doctor writes Bob a prescription to like be on vacation. And he really takes that to heart. I love that movie. I think it's adorable. Anyway, I'm going to read a couple more of these. Codswallop, thank you. Take care, everyone. Dory says, thank you for all you do and keeping it interesting. Also, popping in off and on throughout the day is awesome. Oh, well, that's nice because I've been enjoying it too. Rhonda R says, it's even more odd that she's a child. A lot of sick people in the world. That's my point. All of these people that have been focused on that kind of thing, we don't need to name names. Let's just call them the catfish crew. Okay. I really like that. Not naming names, and just all those sons of bitches are catfish crew. It's just a big pot for jerks and idiots and creeps, right? Do you like it? I like it. Behind the Crimes with Michelle Sutton. Hello there. Hi, darling. Hey, darling. And David Meyer says, shows the perversions in general. Well, again, like I keep saying, it's really nice to feel validated because I thought, that I was just kind of being a little goofy with it. So yeah, Michelle, I have just learned of your channel in the last couple of weeks, and you have been doing some amazing work. So thank you for coming over, and I will see all of you guys very soon. If not before, I'll just see you in the morning. So have a great rest of your day and evening, and thanks again. Great to see you. Take it easy. Be chill.